this video tutorial, we're going to go through some of the basic features and functions of Google Drive and just getting comfortable with maneuvering through the online storage drive. So the first thing that I want to go through is just to make sure that when you're accessing your Google Drive and any of your Google tools, it's definitely the best practice to use Google Chrome. So if you're not using Google Chrome as your browser, you still can access those features, but they're just not going to work as effectively and efficiently if you're not going through Google Chrome. It just makes everything more seamless and it makes everything a lot easier to use. So once you've opened up your Chrome, you can go ahead and sign in using your Google account. And once you've signed in with your Google account, this waffle here is going to show you all of the different applications that you have within your Google suite. So what we're going to access then is going to be Drive is what we're going to be focusing on this tutorial. So you just have to click on Drive and your Drive will automatically go ahead and open up. So this is my Drive here, and just to go over some of the basic functions that you see right off the bat from the dashboard here, this big new button is going to allow you to create new files. Now you can either upload files or folders from your computer, so you do have the ability to transfer files from your computer onto your Google Drive, or you are able then to actually go ahead and create whatever files you need from Google Docs, Sheets, Slides. Click on More, and it'll show you all of the other options that you have to be able to create within your Google Drive. So it's very easy. You just have to click on the New button. So from my Drive, you can see here that I already have lots and lots of folders in my Drive. And if I go ahead and actually right-click on one of my folders, you'll see a drop-down menu that gives me a lot of different options. I can either choose another app to open that folder with. I can go ahead and share this folder with someone else, or just share it in general with a shareable link that I can share with however many people I want to. I have the option of moving my folder or file to somewhere else on my Drive. I can add it to my starred list, and my starred list is over on the side, and this just makes finding files and folders that I use regularly a lot easier. If I star them, I know that I can just go to my star list and I'll find everything that I always use right there in one spot. I can rename my folder. I can change the color within my folder. Or I can actually download my folder or my file onto my computer or go ahead and delete it. And so these are my drop-down options that I have. Every time that I click either on a folder or a file within my Drive, I'll be able to see those options. I'll click on the starred here so you can see what the menu. These are all of the folder and files that I have starred already. So this allows me quick access to the things that I use regularly. Within my Drive, I am also to just very quickly move folders up and down if I need to. I can change my view of my Drive as well, right? This is known as the list view. If I click over here where it says grid view, I'll be able to actually change the layout of my Drive, and that's really up to preference if you'd rather see it like this or if you'd rather see it with the list view. That is up to you and whatever makes it easier for you to use. Shared with me allows me to view all of the different folders and files that have been shared with me already. Now, this list is going to grow more and more as more people share files with you. I can also search within my Drive for any file or folder that I can't find. I can go ahead and actually narrow my search down. If I know what type of file it is, I can go ahead and select that. If I know who owns it, if I'm not the owner and someone else owns it, I can go ahead and put that in. I can also search by keywords. I may not remember exactly what it was called, but I know there's some words within it. I can go ahead and put that in and then be able to search for it. So it is very easy to be able to search for files within your Drive that you may not remember where they are right now. Let's talk a little bit more about your sharing options when it comes to your Drive. So for example, if I go ahead and want to share this folder with more people, I can either, as I said before, share with specific people. I can just enter the names or their email address of the person here, and I can choose whether or not I want that person to be only able to view the file or if they have actual editing rights to this. I can also just get a link and be able to share this link through an email or just have easy access to these files and folders without having to put in the name of all the people that I may want to be able to view the file. Now, if your Google Drive or your Google account is within an organization, you'll see automatically it's going to give you that anyone at the organization can either edit or view the file, depending on what you would want for them to do. However, if I click on the More option, I can go beyond the organization and I can go ahead and have anyone with the link, whether they're part of my organization or not, if they receive this link, they are able to access the file, or I can make it public on the web. I also then have the option then, if I do share it with other people outside of the organization, just as I said before, they are able either to edit it or they're able to only have it on view only. And that depends on what your function is for the file and folder that you're sharing. If you want the other person to be able to edit and add things to it, then you want to include that. If you just want to share the file so they're able to view it, then the person cannot make changes to your file. They can go ahead and make a copy of your file and save it to their own drive. And then from there, as they've made a copy of it, they can go ahead and make changes to their own copy now. But your original copy would not be affected whatsoever. So saying that we now have our shareable link, we now have the link that I can just copy this link and I can share it with whoever I need to share it with to be able to access my folders and files. We also have an option known as share drives, what used to be called team drives here. And these team drives, right, allow you to not only have you as part of the drive, but invite other people to be part of your Google Drive. And now all of those that have access to your team drive will be able to add files and edit files directly onto the drive itself. It makes it a lot easier when you have a team drive, when you're working with and collaborating with groups of people. Instead of having to share things back and forth, you can just go ahead and create everything within your shared drive, and that way it's easier to access all of the different files that you may create already. Now, in order to create a new drive, all I would have to do is right-click on it and click on New Shared Drive. And this will go ahead and ask me to title my new shared drive. And I'm just going to go ahead and write test drive because I could delete that better, and create my drive. Once my new drive is created, right, it automatically brings me inside to my new drive and it lets me know that everything is empty. Right here, I can have the option to add members. And if I click on that, it's going to open up a box where I can go ahead and add the names of the people that I want to be able to share my drive. And I also can go ahead and give them different roles. So maybe I want other people to be able to view my drive and everything in it, but I don't necessarily want to give them editing rights. So depending on who I go ahead and invite, I can also change the roles that they might have within the drive. If they're a content manager, that means that they're able to do everything within the drive. They can move, edit, add, and delete files. If they are just managing the drive, they can manage content members and settings, but they're not able to actually add or delete anything. Contributors can add and edit files, but they're not able to delete anything on there. And then you have those that are just going to be commenting or viewing. So a content manager really is the one that has the most privileges. So if you want someone to have equal privileges as your owner, then you would choose a content manager. Once I have gone ahead and added the names and send their roles, I can go ahead and conclude a message and send that, and they will get a notification in their email that they have just been added to this team drive. And then everybody can start accessing their team drives and start using and adding files within it. Within this drop-down menu, you see that I still have the add members option like I did before. You also have the manage member. So if any time throughout my shared drive, I want to delete a member or change their access, I can do that from the drop-down menu. I can change the settings of my shared drive. Right now, I can edit it to be able that outside people of my organization can be given access to files. So you can change the settings of the drive itself depending on what it is that you need. I can delete my shared drive from that drop-down menu, and I can see whatever things have been put into the trash. I can take a look and see what was there because I can restore anything. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this shared drive that I just did, and I delete the shared drive. this test drive. And that basically is, you'll see then when you go to your shared drives, you click on it, you'll see a drop down of all of the shared drives that you may have already. Same way, if I go to my drive itself and I click on the drop down arrow, it's going to open up all of the different files and folders that I have there already. So that really is just depending on your viewpoint and what makes it easier for you to see. So let's talk a little bit about something else that you can do, which is ShiftZ, right? So maybe I want to have a file that I would like to not only have in one folder, but I would like to put it in another folder. And it could be another shared folder that I have with someone else, whatever it may be. But I would want to have that file in two places. Now, you can make a copy of it. The only thing is, if I make a copy of it, now it's a static copy. And if I make changes to one of the files, those changes are not going to appear in the other copy that I made. However, if I use ShiftZ instead, I'll be able to have my file in two places. And if I edit my file in any one of those places, those edits are automatically going to update to all of the files that I have in different locations. Now, all that I would have to do for that to happen would be that I would just select whatever it is that I want to move or add, rather not move it, but add it to another location. And once I've selected it, I'm going to click on Shift-Z on my keyboard together. And you'll see that now I have the option, a little drop-down menu shows, to be able to add this anywhere I would like. So if I right now would like to add it to a different folder, I would just click on the folder and I would click on add. And now my file would appear in the two places that I have it. And once again, if I make any kind of edits, then those edits are going to be updated in all of the different locations that I have my file or folder in. So it's just something really great, especially when you're sharing information with other groups of people that might have different folders within it. And I want to be able to provide them a file. I know that I can do that using Shift-Z. And if I make edits on my original file in my drive, those edits will also appear in that location wherever I have added my file to. Something else that I want to go ahead and go over before we stop our presentation, because this basically is all of the general maneuvering that you'll need throughout your drive, is using something called force copy. If I want to share a document with other people, but I want to make sure that they make a copy of this document for themselves, I can go ahead and actually have other groups of people make force a copy of it. And it's actually very simply done. All I would need to do is select whatever file it is that I want to go ahead and share with them. And so I'm just going to go ahead and choose any file from my Google Drive. So I'll take this file and I will go ahead and get the shareable link. And I will get the shareable, let me move this down a little bit so we can see it better. Get a shareable link. I'll open up my sharing settings. And I want to make sure that I go ahead and select that anyone with the link can edit. And so that is going to be, I'm going to save that. And that's the link that I want. So now I'm going to go ahead and copy this link. And on a separate tab, it doesn't really matter. I can put on a tab, on a doc, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and paste that link in there. And now that I've pasted that link, this area right here that says edit, I am going to change to copy. And now that I've done that, I am now going to go ahead and copy this new link. And if I go ahead and go on that link now, it's going to ask me automatically when I click on that link, would I like to make a copy of this assignment? And I can go ahead and make a copy. So this is just something just to ensure that when you send something out to people that you want everybody to have their own copy with, I can go ahead and make a forced copy with all of my Google things, whether it's a Google Doc, slide, sheet, whatever it might be, just by going ahead and changing the word edit to copy and using that new link now, I can go ahead and make people force copy any of the documents that I send them. So basically that's the basic features of Google Drive. And I hope this has helped you in maneuvering Google Drive a little bit better. So thanks for watching.